Have you ever wondered what you would tell your younger self if you could go back in time? Today, I'm going to take you on a journey back to the 1980s, my 1980s. And these are the things, if I could, that I would tell my 15-year-old self. I do want to start by saying that I do bring up 5 topics in this video, but I don't want to come across as someone with an attitude of regret. I am fully aware that the choices that I've made in life have brought me to where I am today, of which I am very grateful. I am very fortunate and I am very blessed to even be speaking to you today on YouTube the way that I am. But let's get to the first thing. Regarding family and friends, these are the things that I would tell myself if I could go back to the year 1982. 1. Sherry, I would tell you to spend as much time with your dad as you can. Take as many photos as you can. Cherish the time that you have with him. You will lose your dad due to a car accident in 1986, and you'll only be 19 years old. It will be an extremely traumatic time for you, and your soul will ache over his absence for many, many years to come. I would also tell you, though, that time will help. But even today, I wonder how different things could be, if he was still with us. The next thing I would tell myself regarding relationships is to make more friends, and I would tell myself that you're going to have so much fun with all your friends in your teen years and into your 20s. But on the flip side of that, don't waste too much time on romantic endeavors. The romantic relationships that you're going to have, they're all going to turn sour, and you're not going to like yourself too much while you're in them. None of them will turn out to be true love, and they're just going to end up being unnecessary interruptions and complications. And finally, don't wait so long to get a dog. I would tell my 15-year-old self in 1982 that it's going to be your early 40s before you get your very own dog as an adult. And that's way too long to wait. You're going to make excuses of why it's not the right time, but I'm here to tell you that don't wait. Life is too short for us humans, but with our beloved dogs, it's even shorter. And if you only have one dog at a time, there are only so many dogs that you can fit into your one life here on Earth. And every dog that you do bring into your heart will enrich your life beyond measure. So don't wait until you're in your 40s. Okay, the second category would be concerning money and finance. And these are the things that I would tell my 15-year-old self if I could. First thing is don't cash out your 401ks, Sherry. I know at the time you feel like you need that money because you're living dollar to dollar and paycheck to paycheck. But if you'll just resist the temptation and leave them alone, I promise you 30 years from now, you could retire and be living on Easy Street. Oh, and one more thing is invest in Apple and Microsoft. Do it. And the next thing in this category is I would tell you to be a lot more careful and considerate with using credit cards. I'm not going to tell you not to get credit cards because I know it's important for you to build credit at this time in your life. But if you don't control yourself and you don't put yourself on a budget, you are going to find yourself over $10,000 in credit card debt, and you're going to spend your entire 30s digging out of that. One other thing I would say to my 15-year-old self about finances and money is in your 30s, you're going to get laid off from a job that you thought you loved, and you're going to let it crush your confidence and your pride. But don't even worry about it. Just brush the dust off of that company. Just turn around, walk forward, don't even look back. Take their generous severance package And rather than languishing in cubicle corporate purgatory, your career is going to move up levels that you would have never achieved with that company. In other words, don't fret. It's all going to work out. Okay, the third category would be concerning health. And these are the things regarding health that I would tell myself in 1982. Sherry, don't start smoking. Just don't do it. It will take you over 20 years to quit. Enough said. Next, I would tell myself, you really need to find a way to deal better with stress. You'll mellow out more with age, but while you're young, you're going to stress out about things that you shouldn't stress out about. You're going to worry about things that never happen, or they don't happen nearly as bad as you had thought they might. Just always know in your heart that things are going to work out okay. And the next thing I want to tell myself, my 15-year-old self regarding health, is stop making meals out of bags of potato chips and ice cream. You think your body is invincible because you're young, but it's not always going to be that way. Eat more meat, eat more vegetables, and save the snacks and the junk food for treats. Don't make meals out of them. And try to drink something besides Dr. Pepper all day. You will thank me for this later. Okay, the fourth category in regards to school and career, these are the things I would tell my 15-year-old self if I could. Stick with your science major in college instead of wimping out and changing it mid-course to a business degree. If you'd have stuck with the science degree, you might have finished instead of dropping out. Next, don't worry about making so many typing mistakes. You may have a low word per minute count now, but by the time you get settled into your career, there's going to be an invention called a backspace key, and you will use it often. And lastly, don't be troubled by not attending any of your high school proms. You won't regret it. And the fifth category is related to more personal things. These are the things I would tell my 15-year-old self. First, and this is very important, is try to be a kinder human. Try not to lose your cool or say mean things to people. Your most sincere regrets will be when you've been mean or unkind to someone. Whether it's someone you're close to, whether it's a coworker, or even a stranger. You're going to lose your temper through the years. Everyone does, but just try to keep your mouth shut until you've cooled off, okay? I would also tell you to balance the time you spend on video games with personal growth. Now, I'm not telling you not to play video games because I know how much you enjoy them. Maybe just don't devote entire weekends to playing them. And finally, don't give up prematurely. Don't always be looking for the shortcut or the easy way out. While you're young, you're always going to be looking for immediate gratification. You'll even have a tendency to abandon things, abandon projects, abandon relationships when they become too complicated or too difficult or too encumbering. And in your 30s, one of your friends is going to call you an underachiever. Now, you'll outgrow this, and eventually you're going to find ways to intrinsically motivate yourself. But I know that if it's in me now, today, it's in you then as well. You just got to find it. And that's why I want to go back to 1982 and tell you that very thing. Don't give up so easy. As I reflect back on my younger self today, I realize that every step, every path, every choice that I've made has brought me to exactly where I am right now today. So I know in reality if we all had time machine capabilities, that we just end up botching things up by going back and trying to mess with things, just like in the movie Back to the Future. And I'm sure that every one of us, to some degree, could look back over our lives and be very critical and harsh over some of the choices that we made, the mistakes we made, the opportunities that we missed. But it's better to look at how positive things have come from the choices that we've made. And it's easy to reframe it that way if we'll just make the effort. We were probably doing the very best that we could do with the knowledge and the wisdom and the information that we had at that time. So we have to give ourselves grace, sometimes a lot of it. But I would also tell myself to stay strong, because every wound does eventually heal. Some of them take more time than others. And I would also tell myself to stay curious and always be grateful. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I love doing videos like this that are nostalgic in nature, but I also love doing videos that help us where we are today. Just like this video I have linked right here that you can watch next. Have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.